The Giants 5-1, the Steelers 5-1. It's the game of the week, and really the first test for the Giants on the season since week 1 when they played the Redskins. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, CBS Sports' Charley Casserly. Glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. And Charley, it's a battle of two quarterbacks in the same draft. Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl his second year. Eli Manning, of course, won one last year. If you look at the two quarterbacks, does one have an advantage in this game?
Well, I don't know. No, I don't really think they do. I think they're both very good quarterbacks. I think if I'm going to say an advantage, I'm going to have to give it to Eli Manning. The reason, I think in Ben Roethlisberger's case, the Giant pass rush is going to cause more problems because he's been sacked a lot this year. Now, I think I'm not underestimating Pittsburgh's pass rush because it can be pretty good too with their blitzing, but I think the Giants have a better offensive line than the Steelers. That helps Eli Manning over Ben Roethlisberger in this football game.
The other thing that helps the Giants is the fact that they are probably, if not definitely, the most balanced football team offensively in the NFL. Take a look at the Giants' offensive ranks compared to where the Steelers are defensively. You see the same numbers across the board. Giants won against the rush. Steelers are second. Charlie, where is the advantage here?
Well, I think the advantage is this, is that I think you can throw on the Steelers secondary. I really do. I don't think the Steelers secondary is very good defending against the pass. So what the Giants have to do is have pass protection. Now, the Giants like to run the ball and hammer the ball. We saw the Steelers defend the run. What the Giants have to do is don't quit on the run, because two things are going to happen. One, if you keep running, you still have the advantage of the play action. The other thing is, Brandon Jacobs, you know what? He's his own blocker. He's going to run over some people in this football game. So the Giants have to stay patient at the run, stay after it, and I think they can make plays in the passing game.
And the other part to that in terms of the passing game is that fact that Bryant McFadden, he's definitely out of this game. Troy Polamalu with the concussion. He'll be a game-time decision as of Thursday. He hasn't been cleared to play yet, so that is something that we'll have to look forward to as well, because if he doesn't go, that certainly hurts the Steelers both in the rush defense and the pass defense. Now, you mentioned the fact that can the Steelers protect Big Ben? 27th in the NFL giving in sacks allowed, but can they run the football this week? Willie Parker expected back. We'll see if he had it. But even if he does play, if he doesn't play, do you think they can run on the Giants?
Well, I think it'll be a struggle. I think the advantage of a Willie Parker is speed. He doesn't need a big hole. If you give him an inch, he can take a mile, so to speak, in this thing here. Now, Mueldy Moore, very good stats, but he hadn't played against the same competition here as he's going to face this Sunday against the New York Giants. Pittsburgh has to make a decision. Do they want to commit to the run like they did in the Bill Cowher era? But right now, to me, they don't seem to do that. They want to be more of a passing team, and the run is second. And certainly, Roethlisberger can be effective throwing the football. But I think that they will have a hard time running this game on a consistent basis.
Throwing the football. A couple weeks ago, we saw the Giants secondary, especially Aaron Ross, get beat by Braylon Edwards a couple of times. Is this a game Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes can have big games?
I don't know if they'll have big games because the Giants have been pretty consistent all year. Corey Webster's played well. Ross got benched in last week's game. I would expect him to come back and start. But I think again, the pass protection, the blitzing, the pass rush of the Giant defensive line has been very effective this year. So Roethlisberger tends to hold the ball. I think the key there is the pass rush going to be effective. I do think a guy like Holmes and Miller, the tight end, I think they can win on individual matchups, but are they going to have the time to get the time to throw those individual matchups?
One other subplot, speaking of matchups, Plexico Burress against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first time he has seen them since leaving Pittsburgh to join the Giants. You think he's in for a big day? Because he doesn't like necessarily going. He's not going to be cheered when he goes back to Pittsburgh in this game.
I think this is a is a type of a guy, and I don't know him personally, but I think he's going to be motivated to play against his former team. All players are in that situation. Now, this guy seems to be kind of an individual type guy amongst the team. I don't know that he's a guy that if he gets up and gives a speech before the game, a lot of people are going to listen to. I don't necessarily he's that kind of a guy, but I do think he'll be motivated to play well in this game, and I think he has a mismatch that the Steelers right now one-on-one can't cover.
All right, we'll see how it plays out, but let's see what the computer thinks. AccuScore prediction, 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, and I was extremely surprised to see this. First of all, that it wasn't close, but second of all, that it's the Steelers. 70% of the time came out on top. Charlie, who do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Steelers in this game because I think this. I think they're at home, and I think that their pass rush, even though the Giants have a good offensive line, is going to be just disruptive enough to give the Giants a little bit of a flow problem, where I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball as consistently as they normally do. I think it could become a little bit more of a passing game that the Giants might want to have happen in that football game. And I think Ben Roethlisberger will make enough big plays, but he's going to get taken down. He might get sacked 4 or 5 times in this football game, but I think he'll make just enough big plays. Hey, this is a field goal right at the end of the game, I think.
He'd be used to it. He got hammered when they
right.
played the Eagles, so he'd be used to it against the NFC East. It's a 4:15 p.m. Eastern start. For more on this game or any other here in Week 8, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.